Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. This is Deep Cuts Reactions, and my name's Greg. And if you're talking about Muscle Shoals and the Muscle Shoals Studios, there, you kind of got to talk about these boys. This is more modern than all their other stuff, or all the, the other stuff that was done there at the Muscle Shoals Studios. But this is Drive-By Truckers, and Patterson Hood, who's one of the main members of the band, is the son of David Hood, who is, there at Fame Studios, one of the studio musicians playing bass, and, so that's kind of cool. And they recorded this album, The Dirty South, there in Muscle Shoals. So, I don't know, I just think that's all very cool. But this is a neat song, and it's mostly Mike Cooley. He's doing the vocals, and he's the one that wrote the song and all. But it's about the early days of rock and roll and talking about Sam Phillips, So the song is Carl Perkins' Cadillac. So let's go ahead and give it a listen.
Life ain't nothing but a blending up of all the ups and downs. Damn it, Elvis, don't you know? You made your mama so proud. Before you ever made that record, before there ever was a sun, before you ever lost that Cadillac that Carl Perkins won. Mr. Phillips found old Johnny Cash and he was high before he ever took those pills, and he's still too proud to die. Mr. Phillips never said anything behind nobody's back, like damn it Elvis, don't he know? He ain't no Johnny Cash. If Mr. Phillips was the only man that Jerry Lee still would call sir, then I guess Mr. Phillips did all of y'all about as good as you deserve. He did just what he said he's gonna do, and the money came in sacks, new contracts, and Carl Perkins' Cadillac. The folks I know, Nashville's where you go to see if what is said is so. Carl drove his brand new Cadillac to Nashville and he went downtown. This time they promised him a Grammy. He turned his Cadillac around, 'cause Mr. Phillips never blew enough hot air to need a plated paperweight, and promised him a Cadillac and put the wind in Carl's face. He did just what he said he's gonna do, and the money came in sacks, new contracts, and Carl Perkins' Cadillac. Making money you can't spend ain't what being dead's about. You gave me all but one good reason not to do all of the things you did. Now Cadillacs are fiberglass. If you were me, you'd call it quits. If Mr. Phillips was the only man that Jerry Lee still would call sir, but I guess Mr. Phillips did all y'all about as good as you deserve. He did just what he said he's gonna do, and the money came in sacks, new contracts, Carl Perkins Cadillac. Carl Perkins Cadillac.
Yeah, great song, and yeah, killer production on it. Uh, the song itself is so cool. I mean, Drive-By Truckers are so good. I think that's when they still had Jason Isbell with them, you know. But all those guitars, man, just so cool. Uh, really nice guitar riffs. I mean, there were so many of them because at that point, if like I say, I'm not sure, but I think Jason Isbell was still with him, and they had three guitarists. So that's pretty cool. And you know, the song was a nice tune, and you know the way they played it was great and all that. But you know, the biggest thing to me was just the subject matter of the song. It was so cool. You know, they're talking about Sam Phillips and Sun Records, and you know they were based out of Memphis, and yeah, real different sound than Nashville or you know some of the other sounds. It's interesting to me that you know you had this whole different scene depending on where you were recording. You know, if it was Sun in Nashville, or you know, and they're in Muscle Shoals, Alabama, or if you're recording in L.A. with the Wrecking Crew, and you know, or recording with Phil Spector in New York, or you know, but they all had different sounds, which I thought was cool. But you know, like I say, the subject matter on this was so great because Sam Phillips, I mean, he was one of the founders of the rock and roll sound. I mean, he wasn't a musician. He was a DJ and producer, and hell, he was one of the early investors in Holiday Inn, you know. But what he did for rock and roll music, you know, he's the one that signed Elvis and Jerry Lee Lewis and Johnny Cash, and you know, so who knows if they would have had a career without him. And you know, he was a big believer in racial equality, and you know, trying to make sure that musicians, regardless of their color, were all treated the same. And like I say, he did a lot for the history of rock and roll. So anyway, yeah, if you're not familiar with all that, you know, go on Wikipedia or something, you know, or look up some article, and you know, just see what all Sam Phillips did. It was pretty incredible, and you know, I don't know if rock and roll would be the same without him. So anyway, I will be back, and hit like, subscribe, and we will see you all later. Bye-bye.